Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call this Tampa City Council meeting to order at this time. If we could have roll call, please.
Carlson,
Here.
Hurtak, Clendenin, Henderson, Vieira, Miranda,
Here.
Maniscalco.
Here.
We have a physical quorum.
All right, we have 4 city council members here out of the 7. I have memos from both Councilmember Henderson and Councilmember Hurtak's office. They will be absent as they are both attending the Florida Redevelopment Conference. I also have a memo received from Councilmember Clendenin's office that he will be absent this evening due to personal reasons. All right, we have some housekeeping to do with this agenda. I believe the only item that I see for now is a memo that we received from Alex Shaler requesting that item number 8 be withdrawn.
So moved to allow it withdrawn.
We have a motion to withdraw item number 8 from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Carlson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Other than that, the first 3 are non-quasi judicial, so we do not need to swear anybody in at this time. So we will start with item number 1, which is TACPA 2301 regarding the Tampa Comprehensive Plan. Go ahead. If you have a, do you have a overhead presentation? Okay, go ahead. Please state your name.
Good evening, Katrina Corcoran, Planning Commission staff. I'm here tonight to present the Tampa Comprehensive Plan, TACPA 2301. This is on the mobility section.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So moved
May I
to
have
open the hearing.
a motion to
7,
open all
Mr.
the
Chairman.
hearings? We have a motion from Councilmember Miranda, second Councilmember Vieira. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any opposed? Sorry.
The mobility section is a portion of the overall Tampa Comprehensive Plan updates. It implements key components of the adopted vision. There was significant public and stakeholder engagement, and it was coordinated with city staff. The mobility section has 5 main goals, including multimodal options, economic opportunity, sustainability, resilience, and health, equity, and safety. The section streamlines the language, removes duplication, regulatory, and programmatic language. It also updates and modernizes mobility-related language and provides a framework for mobility-related initiatives. This amendment was transmitted on August 31st, and it was transmitted to the Florida Commerce on September 14th. The Planning Commission found TACPA 2301 consistent with the Tampa Comprehensive Plan, and it is here tonight for your consideration for adoption.
All right.
This
Do you have
concludes
any
my
questions
presentation.
from any council members? I see none. Do you have anybody in the public that wishes to speak on item number 1? Do you have anybody registered online?
Move
No?
to close.
We have motion closed from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Councilman Miranda, would you mind reading item number 1?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. File number, item number 1, file number TA/CPA 2301. An ordinance being for first reading consideration. An ordinance amending the Tampa Comprehensive Plan to delete the mobility section in its entirety and create a new mobility section, to update and modernize the mobility-related language and maps to include multimodal options, economic vitality, sustainability, resiliency, health, equity, safety, providing for repeal of our ordinance, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
We have a motion from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor?
No.
Aye. Any opposed? No, it's first reading. We're not
Okay,
this time.
got it.
All right. Yes, ma'am?
Oh,
Can you-
thank you.
Can you read?
Oh, what was
Oh, you
that?
want to do a roll call vote? You know, read the vote. It was unanimous.
Roll call vote is unanimous, with Hurtak, Clendenin, Henderson being absent.
Very good. Do we have second reading?
Second reading and adoption will be held on November 16th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. located at Old City Hall, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, 3rd floor, Tampa, Florida 33602.
Thank you very much. All right, item number 2. This is TACPA 2311.
Good evening, Council. I'm Sean College with Planning Commission staff. Similar to your last item, this is another section of your comprehensive plan. This is the environmental and sustainability section update. It retains important components, adds some additional updated language, reduce the size of this element significantly to make it more user-friendly. It does streamline the language and removes duplication, but provides a framework for continued environmental protection. This was transmitted, transmittal hearing was on August 31st, transmitted to the Florida Commerce on September 14th. There were no comments from reviewing agencies. Planning Commission found this consistent with your comprehensive plan, and with that, we would recommend your consideration for adoption at this time.
Any questions? Do we have anybody in the public that wishes to speak on item number 2? I see no one. There's nobody registered. May I have a motion to close?
Second.
Motion closed from Councilmember Vieira, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilmember Vieira, number 2.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Ordinance presented for first reading and consideration. Ordinance amending the Tampa Comprehensive Plan to delete the environmental section in its entirety and create a new environmental and sustainability section to update, modernize, and provide a framework for conserving, using, and protecting natural resources, wetlands, lakes, soil conservation, urban forests, Hillsborough River, and alternative energy, providing for repeal of all ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
We have a motion from Councilmember Vieira, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion carried unanimously with Hurtak, Clendenin, Henderson being absent. Second reading and adoption will be held on November 16th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. located at Old City Hall, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, 3rd floor, Tampa, Florida 33602.
Thank you very much. Item number 3. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Danny Collins with your Planning Commission staff. Today I'll be presenting Tcc Pm 2315. It's a privately initiated text amendment related to environmental sensitive areas, and this is the first adoption reading. Just a quick summary, this is a privately initiated amendment. The amendment seeks more flexibility for development in and around ESA lands within the West Shore Planning District. You heard this item at your transmittal hearing on August 31st, and it was transmitted to Florida Commerce on September 14th. Just a quick background of the request. Currently under the adopted plan, projects are eligible for a density intensity credit if ESA lands exceed 20% of the total project area. As proposed, if 50% or more of a site are deemed wetlands, the applicant will be allowed to weigh the density intensity throughout the entire site through a plan development zoning. This request, again, would only apply to the West Shore Planning District. There were some conditions with the request. To qualify for this provision, all portions of the site must be contiguous. The 25% ESA credit cannot be clustered from land outside the coastal hazard area to land inside the coastal hazard area, so this would not increase density within the coastal hazard area. Calculations of density and intensity can only be applied to the upland acreage of the site. And finally, the combined total number of dwelling units and/or FAR possible under all plan categories within the project will be used as the ceiling. So any development would not exceed the maximums allowed in the categories through the PD. Here is a map showing the ESA lands and where they're located in the West Shore Planning District. You'll see the ESA lands are up around Rocky Point, and then generally just south south of the Courtney Campbell Causeway, and run along all the way south to Interstate 275. The ESA lands are represented by this teal color here, and it's found along the coastal areas. The Planning Commission reviewed this request back in August and recommends that the proposed text amendment be found consistent with goals, objectives, and policies of the Tampa Comprehensive Plan. That concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions? Nope. Thank you very much. Do we have an applicant? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Addie Clark, 400 North Ashley Drive, and I just have a really minor presentation. As Danny had mentioned, we did come before you in August, as well as the Planning Commission back in middle of August, and we did receive a unanimous vote of consistency from Planning Commission, as well as from your council for transmittal to the state. And as Danny mentioned, there were no comments from the state from that. Let's see if we can just put on the There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, and because we did give a full detailed presentation back in August, we'll just be really brief here today. So again, this is how we got here. We did have unanimous planning commission approval. We went to the state, no comments there, and today we're before you for the first adoption hearing. If this council so desires, we would be seeing you at a second adoption hearing later. And again, Danny had mentioned there are 4 criteria that we are proposing. Again, this is just West Shore Planning District. There was a question in August about kind of what percentage of land that would include, and that would be about 1% of the land in the West Shore Planning District is deemed ESA. So just a very small amount of that land there. And again, this would be enforced through a plan development or a plan development alternative. So that is a controlled site plan. And with that, I do have Abby Naylor, Principal Ecologist, here to just speak to some comprehensive plan support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am?
Hi, good evening. Just to speak to the environmental benefits of having uplands clustered on a site, just in addition to having that benefit, it also is in compliance with the existing comprehensive plan, and in fact is in compliance with the new comprehensive plan changes to the environmental and sustainability update that you just heard. So by shifting the density to the uplands, another additional benefit is that the policy could minimize wetland impacts where mitigation is not often offset within the city limits. So therefore, it could actually result in an overall retention of wetlands within the city and the West Shore Planning District. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from council members? Does that conclude all the presentations?
Yes.
All right. Do we have anybody in the public that wishes to speak on item number 3? There is nobody registered. Anybody here to speak? No? Can I get a motion to close? Motion to close from Councilman Miranda, second from Councilman Vieira. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Councilmember Carlson, would you mind reading item number 3?
Move number 3, file number TACPA 2315, ordinance being presented for first reading consideration, an ordinance amending the Tampa Comprehensive Plan future land use element to update the density or intensity credit language for projects where environmentally sensitive areas ESA exceed 20% of the total project acreage, providing for repeal of all ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, providing effective date.
Do we have a second? Yes. Second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Motion carried unanimously. Hurtak, Clendenin, Henderson, absent. Second reading and adoption will be held on November 16th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. located at Old City Hall, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, 3rd floor, Tampa, Florida, 33602.
Thank you very much. All right, for the next items, 4, 5, 6, and 7, they are quasi-judicial, so anybody that is going to be speaking or giving testimony, please stand, raise your right hand, and we'll swear you in. Anybody that's going to be speaking.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated.
All right, item number 4 is the first item. Yes, sir.
Eric Cotton, Development Coordination. I do have, I know normally we don't do revision sheets for AB, but Sean's not here, so. I do ask if you choose to adopt the, make a motion to approve on first reading that you adopt, instruct the applicant to make the changes per the revision sheet. First case before you tonight is AB 22309 for a property at 1611 North Howard Avenue. The applicant is Tisbeth Mejia. The applicant is requesting for a small venue, beer, wine, and liquor consumption on premise only. Let me just show a quick location. This is at Main Street in Howard. Let me blow it up a little bit because the map is really on the small side. You see it highlighted out here in red. Blow this back out. This is the proposed site plan. They are asking for there's 6 spaces required for this use. There's only 5 available. This used to be what, if y'all recall, the 4th of July Cafe. This is the same location that was in. I do have some photos to show you. Again, they're asking for small venue, beer, wine, and liquor consumption on premise only. The use is proposed to be a restaurant. Property is within the West Tampa Urban Village and the West Tampa Overlay District. They are asking for a waiver from the distance separation requirements. Directly adjacent to the property is a the Alpine Truck Stop, which has a 1 APS, which is for beer and for package sales. Again, I think everybody's familiar with the location itself. From front view of the property, this is the southern view, this is the northern view, and we just have one last view looking east. Again, there's the revision sheet. If y'all want, I can read it into the record. It is submitted as part of the file. If y'all are inclined to approve the request, I'd ask the council adopt the revision sheet with whatever motion you make. Council have any questions?
Any questions? I had the last Cuban sandwich ever made at the 4th of July Cafe, and they closed right after I left. I mean, they closed the doors.
And you ate it?
I gave half to my mother. But,
You still have the other half? Is that what you're saying?
no, I don't still have the other.
But thank you, council.
Thank you very much. Applicant?
Yeah, Steve Michelini representing the applicant. This, as I think you probably know, is a legacy building. It's on the historic survey, and I have a couple of pictures here, one of which
Is this where the Central Bank of Tampa started?
this is where the Bank of West Tampa started in 1906.
Huh.
And
And the Salsina's department store, West Tampa department store there,
And
no?
there's a picture of it in, somewhere in the early 1900s. This is a perfect example of an adaptive reuse project. This file is what the city has related to this particular property. And the applicant has gone in and restored the building, probably estimated over $200,000 in renovations and other expenses associated with getting it reestablished. It is an operating restaurant currently, and it's on a transit corridor, and it's consistent with the West Tampa plan. I have a letter here from the West Tampa Chamber of Commerce supporting it, and I'd like to submit it to the record. We've been working on this project for quite some time, and we sent out the notices, and we received no comments whatsoever regarding concerns. The applicant is here along with me in case you have any other questions, but it is an operating restaurant, and we'd respectfully request your approval. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. But as I said, it's a legacy location, and it's a perfect opportunity for adaptive reuse, and the fact that an individual's gone in and decided to renovate and bring it up to current standards is remarkable. But anyway, the 5 parking spaces and the one that's being waived, unlike most of the other properties in the area, it does have some parking. So anyway, we respectfully request your approval, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
I've received the letter from the Chamber of Commerce.
All right. Is there anybody in the public that wishes to speak on this item? Come on up. Wait, you didn't get sworn in. You didn't. We'll swear you in when you come up. No,
You're the
go.
right hand.
Come on up, and then we'll swear you in. Yeah, if anybody is going to be speaking, you have to be sworn in.
Please raise your right hand.
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony
Hold
you're
on, man.
about to give?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
I just
Yes.
want to say thank you.
State your name.
My name is Tisbeth Mejia. I'm the owner of Katrina's Tacos and Tequila Bar, and I'm just glad to be here finally. I've been working so hard in that location for so many years. And just to tell you that instead of Cuban sandwich, you will get a tacos now.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Any questions or comments? Anybody else? Well, thank you for your investment in such an important historic building in West Tampa. So we appreciate that. If there's nothing else, anything else, sir?
No, council, we would commit to making the revisions between first and second reading, and respectfully request your approval.
All right. Can I get a motion to close?
So moved.
Motion from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Councilmember Miranda?
Thank you. This is the first time I have a revision sheet on these items, so you want me to read all this?
No, just include the revision sheet
Okay,
between
all
first
right,
and
got
second
it.
reading.
All right, item number 4, AB 223/09, ordinance being presented for first reading consideration. An ordinance approving a special use permit, SU S2 for alcohol beverage sales, small venue consumption on premise only, and make it lawful the sale of alcohol, of beverages regardless of alcohol content, beer, wine, and liquor on that certain lot, plot, or tract of land located at 1611 North Howard Avenue, Tampa, Florida, more particularly described in sections 2, providing for that all ordinance or partial ordinance and conflicts are repealed, providing an effective date.
We have a motion from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Vieira, and that includes the revision sheet,
That
correct?
includes a revision sheet
Between first and second reading.
between first and second reading.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Motion carried unanimously with Hurtak, Clendenin, Henderson being absent. Second reading and adoption will be held on November 16th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. located at Old City Hall, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, Tampa, Florida, 33602.
Thank you very much. Item number 5. Yes, sir.
Eric Cotton, Development Coordination. Again, a revision sheet. Just to keep myself straight.
What are you gonna do?
This is for AB 23-14 for a property at 811 North Campus Street. Property is zoned CBD. It is downtown. The applicant is Ramona Nimtu. The applicant's requesting to sell as a small venue, beer, wine, and liquor for both consumption on and off premise. Again, just a quick, at the corner of Tampa Street, and a little bit north of Polk. You see it highlighted in red. As a downtown establishment, they're not required to provide any parking per the code. They both have both indoor and outdoor seating of roughly 1,850 square feet indoor and 404 square feet outdoor. Staff found the request consistent. They're not asking for any waivers to the request. Again, they just have to add the 2 notes that are on the revision sheet that they cannot sell in any parking lot spaces, and they need to post the placard that we provide on their property. Council have any questions? If you want, I can show you some photos of the again, it's just downtown. This is from the viewpoint looking east. Again,
What
looking
is
west.
Is that
towards
Patty
the sun.
Wagons or whatever it is?
Pardon?
What is the business there? It's an existing restaurant, right?
It is. I don't know. Honestly, I apologize. I don't know the name of the name. Don't know the name of it.
Okay, that's fine.
But the applicant is here that can explain it in greater detail. Council have any questions? Let me try to answer them for you about the application itself.
No, any questions from council members? Nope. All right, if we have an applicant, Mr. Michelini?
Good evening, Council. Steve Michelini. I'm here on behalf of the applicant. It's downtown. It's consistent with the downtown plan. And just as an additional note, we sent out 450 notices regarding this property, which was quite an endeavor. And we received no phone calls, no communication, no emails regarding any concerns at this establishment. It does provide a necessary service for the downtown residents, and it seemed to be very convenient for them. It's not open yet because they were waiting for the alcohol to be rendered a decision on. So, but they are in the process of renovating it. It's a small area. It's approximately 2,500 square feet total, and I think the staff we agreed that it's consistent with all of their guidelines in the review. Respectfully request your approval.
Any questions for the applicant? No. Do we have anybody in the public that wishes to speak on item number 5? May I have a motion to close? We have a motion from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilman Vieira. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Councilman Vieira, would you like to read it with the revision sheet between first and second
I'll
reading?
only read it without. No, I'm joking.
No, sir.
If I may, I move an ordinance being presented for first reading consideration, an ordinance approving a special use permit for alcoholic beverage sales, small venue consumption on premises, and package sales off premises consumption, and making lawful the sale of beverages regardless of alcoholic content, beer, wine, and liquor at or from that certain lot, plot, or tract of land located at 811 North Tampa Street, is more particularly described in Section 2, providing that all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict are repealed, providing an effective date, and with that revision sheet.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Vieira, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, council.
Motion carried unanimously with Clendenin, Henderson, and Hurtak being absent. Second reading and adoption will be held on November 16th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. located at Old City Hall, 3rd floor, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, Tampa, Florida 33602.
Thank you very much. All right, item number 6.
Eric Cotton, Development Coordination. This also is downtown. This is AB 223-21. The applicant seeking to do, this is at 1018 Cass Street. The applicant is Benjamin Strand. Property zoned against CBD. Staff found this request consistent. Let me show you on a map where this is roughly located. Again, site highlighted in red. This is a one-story building. They do have some parking on site. The request is for 2,400 square feet indoors and roughly 2,216 square feet outdoors. There are some changes that corrections that need to be made between first and second reading, which is on that revision sheet I just handed out. This is at the corner of, again, Cass and North Governor Street. This is adjacent to Encore. Give you a general idea where this is located at. Property is currently under construction. It was previously utilized as a restaurant. This was approved as a DDR back in 2022 for the downtown development plan. Again, there's no waivers being requested and just the corrections for the site plan that need to be referenced. Just for the front of the building and a side view of the site itself. Council have any questions?
That's a historic building, correct? That's an existing building, or is that?
It's an existing building. I don't know if it's historic. It's not mentioned in the staff report, so I apologize.
Oh. Okay, any questions from
Might be.
council? Yes, sir.
If that building is eventually, we don't know the historic status of it, if it's eventually replaced and a vertical building is there, what happens to the liquor license then?
It stays with the property.
The alcohol runs, yes, Eric Cotton, Development Coordination. The alcohol stays with the property, the local alcohol
But
approval.
if the property, the space will be gone, so what happens if it's a 10-story property? Does it just stay with the first floor, or does
It would just be the first floor as shown on the site plan.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Any other questions?
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Applicant? Yes, sir.
That's the revision sheet.
Perfect, thank you. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen? I'm Benjamin Stronzel. I'm the attorney for the applicant, which is Late Start Brewing. They're in the back here. Two gentlemen, put your hands up. There we go. So this is a application for an SU2, special use 2. They're trying to start a brewery and a tasting room in the location. If you guys are familiar with the location, this is a developing area right there. They just built the apartment complexes a few years ago. And it's just when I was taking the pictures, putting the public notice signs up there, I had multiple people walking by asking, when is this place going to be open? So the people in the area are excited. There's no waivers needed on this property. It's consistent with the plan. I think it's going to be a great addition to that neighborhood and a great start and continuation of the redevelopment in that area. If you have any questions for myself or the applicants, we can answer them for you.
So the building is not being torn down, they're renovating?
No, they're renovating it. Yeah, it's happening right now.
Well, the reason I asked, is it a historic building? It has nothing to do with this decision, but where it's at, you know, we talk about Encore and Central Avenue, which was a historic black neighborhood, and I think that may be one of the, because it's very few remaining original structures, and that's one of them that we really don't talk about. We talk about the Jackson House and others, and it's good to know, you know, the history behind it, because that was a very vibrant community, and now it's gonna be a, you know.
We're hoping it comes back to that.
Yeah, no, I've always been fascinated with the history, because there's very few photos of that era, so that's why I asked, like, when was it built, what was there?
I honestly don't know if it's a historic building. I believe it was built in 1959, though, so probably not a historic building.
No, the neighborhood existed until like 74.
Okay, so, yeah.
Yeah, it was there.
Okay, yeah, it was 59, I know that, so.
Okay, any questions from council? Anybody in the public wish to speak on this item? And there's nobody registered, can I get a motion to close? We have a motion to close from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Vieira, all in favor? Aye. Councilmember Carlson, if you'd like to read item number 6, and please include the revision sheet between first and second reading.
Move item number 6, file number AB 2-23-21, ordinance being presented for first reading consideration, an ordinance approving a special use permit SU2 for alcoholic beverage sales, small venue, consumption on premise and package sales off premises consumption, and making lawful the sale of beer and wine at or from that certain lot, plot, or tract of land located at 1018 East Cass Street, Tampa, Florida, as more particularly described in section 2, providing that all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict or repeal, providing effective date, and including the revision sheet between first and second readings.
We have a motion from Councilmember Carlson, we have a second from Councilmember Vieira, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Motion carried unanimously with Henderson, Hurtak, Clendenin being absent. Second reading and adoption will be held on November 16th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. located at Old City Hall, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, 3rd floor, Tampa, Florida, 33602.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Item number 7, the last item of the night.
Yes, sir. Eric Cotton, Divine Coronation. This is for AB 223-24 for property at 1313 East 8th Avenue. The applicant is Ybor Marcia LLC. This property is located in Ybor City. Its designation is YC1. It's an existing building, very narrow footprint. Let me just show you the site plan. The applicant is seeking to do small venue, beer and wine consumption on-premise and off-premise. There's 1,175 square feet indoors. If you can see, I highlighted this little bit here. This is shown on the site plan. That's an outdoor seating area in the public right-of-way. They need to pursue a sidewalk cafe permit through mobility. So that's one of the revisions on the little revision sheet I gave you. Staff found it inconsistent primarily because the separation distance in Ybor is down to 0 because adjacent to the properties, another place that sells alcohol. This is currently under construction when the photos were taken. You see it's a historic building. This is just photos looking south. Again, north. This is again in the Ybor core, eastern view, and eastern view with the graffiti if you want to see that one, and then a western view of the property going down the street. Does council have any questions?
I think this is a historic fire station.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions from council? All right, do we have the applicant? Yes, sir.
Yes, to answer your question, they are the applicants. It's a family run. This is going to be a brewery as well, with a tasting room. It was a historic fire station as well previously. To answer the question on the waivers, they're asking a distance separation to 0 feet from other AB sales. The place next door has an AB, but is non-operational. There's no one in there. They're not actually selling, if that makes any difference for you. But this is a family-owned small business. We think it'll be a great addition to the Ybor community. If you're familiar with the area, it's directly across from the Scientology area, down from Cigar City Cider and Mead a little bit. So we think it'll be a great establishment. What I can tell you personally, the work that they're doing inside looks fantastic. They're restoring it to a historical look with the brick on the wall and everything. So it'll have a great appearance, be a great addition to the neighborhood. If you have any questions, I can answer for you, or the applicants are here, they can also answer.
Any questions from council? Anybody in the audience wish to speak on these items? No? I'm glad to see these historic buildings coming back to life, I mean, this is another important one, and great, so.
We appreciate this. It's a long time coming on this one, so.
Yep. Anything else? If not, we ask for a motion to close. Motion to close from Councilmember, huh? Yeah. Ma'am, you don't want to speak? No. Anybody in the public wish to speak? No? All right, there's nobody online. We have a motion to close from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilman Vieira. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Councilmember Miranda, item number 7 with the revision sheet.
Item number 7, file number AB 223-24, ordinance being presented for first reading consideration. An ordinance approving a special use permit, SU2, for alcohol beverage sales, small venue, consumption on premises and package sales, off-premise consumption, and making lawful the sale of beer and wine at or from that certain lot, plot, or tract of land located at 1313 East 8th Avenue, first floor only, Tampa, Florida, more particularly described in Section 2, providing that all ordinance or parts of ordinance in conflict are repealed, providing an effective date,
We have
along with the revision sheet.
motion from Councilman Miranda. We have second. Second from Councilman Vieira. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Motion carried unanimously with Hurtak, Clendenin, Henderson being absent. Second reading and adoption will be held on November 16th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. located at Old City Hall, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, 3rd floor, Tampa, Florida 33602.
That's it. That's the whole agenda. Thank you very much. Ma'am, did you want to come up and speak or anything, or?
She's the applicant.
I'm with the Boy Scouts.
Oh, does he want to come up? No?
Oh, I thought she was the applicant.
No, they're on the right side. Okay, well,
And if I may, Mr. Chair, to the young scout, if you guys want a tour of city council afterwards, I'm glad to give it to y'all.
thanks. See you later.
So if you want to stick around, just as an offer, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we usually get out of here by midnight, so we're going to be here for another 6 hours.
You did.
Yeah.
Where do you go to school?
Wilson.
Good for you, good school. You guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't even recognize
Do you-
you. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Good to see you.
I walked in with my reader sunglasses, so
Good to see you.
Do you want us to show him around? We can show him around
he
it.
has baseball in a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna be done in 5 minutes if you wanna wait.
He'll be done in 5 minutes.
So if you don't know her, she was with the junior league, and yeah, so very good. All right, Councilman Carlson, do you have any business?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say fast, the other day we were having a discussion about ShotSpotter and I talked about the FBI statistics on violent crime, and Megan challenged the dates I was using, and I don't remember if she presented any dates, but I looked it up and the date I presented was wrong. The spike in the violent crime started, the bottom that started to go up was 2018, not 2015. So if my challenge was off, I apologize to her, but I just want to make sure we got the right information. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Vieira? Councilman Miranda? Miranda? Sir, anything? All right, nothing else? Can I get a motion to receive and file? Motion, Councilman Miranda, second Councilman Carlson, all in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.